everyone. Back to the Chuck Graham Show. Again, excuse the echo. I'm still working on this podcast room and some sound deadening. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about the coronavirus and the latest data that they've come up with. And there was two doctors, Dr. Erickson, and I can't pronounce the other doctor's name, but they're out in California. And YouTube keeps taking their video down. Now, why are they doing that? Why? Why do they keep taking that video down? I've posted it twice on Facebook, and I don't understand it. The only thing I can come up with is their opinions and their medical opinions doesn't agree with Dr. Fauci, which hadn't seen a patient in 20 years, and he have no business whatsoever running an economy like America. And I'm telling you right now, as much a supporter as I am of Trump, and I've said it 1,000 times, he dropped the fucking ball on this. I mean, he did. He shut an economy down that never should have been shut down. This is the most overblown medical information that we've ever had. Why don't they just forget calling the guesses that they make and the predictions they make, and don't even call them hypotheses or theories, because they're not. They're just simple guess. That's what they are. They're just guesses. I'm trying to get my cat off my podcast table. I think he's wreaking havoc. But anyway, back to the issue at hand. I'll read you something that I read from the Washington Times, and I totally agree with this. And it's put out by, the Washington Times. And here goes. In fact, COVID-19 will go down as one of the political world's biggest, most shameful, overblown, overhyped, and irrationally inflated and outright deceptively flawed response to a healthcare matter in American history. One that was carried largely on the lips of medical professionals who have no business running a national economy or government. I totally agree with that. And back to my next question. Why do they keep taking the information down and the data that these Dr. Erickson and his company, because they do a lot of testing over there, and the data is showing that this thing is not nearly as deadly. It's not even as deadly as the flu. I mean, the flu that we have a vaccine for that killed anywhere between 24 and 60,000 this year. Nobody's batting an eye. I mean, let's call it what it is. This is control, people. That's all it is. And until they change the federal statute, which I have a pretty good understanding of legal matters, I would think. So until they change the statute and eliminate the language in the statute that protects and gives immunity from platforms like YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Now, granted, these platforms weren't around in 1996 when they passed that law. And I'm not going to pull it up and quote it, but it basically gives them blanket immunity for anything that's posted on their platform. They can't be sued for it. They can't be prosecuted for it. And that's actually a good thing, because it protects them and allows them to provide a platform of basically free speech. But here's the kicker. It also allows them, and it says it in the statute, that they are allowed to remove even constitutionally protected speech. Now, what genius added that to the statute? And it's actually Section 230. I was looking it up as I was talking to you. Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. That's what it's called. 47 U.S.C. 230. Section 230C1. It provides immunity from liability. Now, here's the thing. Granted, social media wasn't nearly what it is now. You had message boards and things like Reddit type places you could go and communicate with one another. That's not the way it is now. These platforms have become virtual squares. This language needs to be removed. Either you're an edited platform to where you have to edit everything that comes through, or you're a public forum. But you can't be both. And the reason that people like Krager University and all these, they lose these lawsuits is because of this statute. Congress needs to act. They need to remove this language. I believe that they should have immunity, but I also believe that they should not be able to remove any content that doesn't rise to the level of illegal. And then Mattel versus Tams, I believe it is, the United States Supreme Court in 2017, hate speech is free speech. It is. It's just a simple fact. One man's vulgarity is another man's lyrics. And that was what the Supreme Court stated in their ruling in I believe it was in the 70s, when the guy walked into a courthouse with a shirt on that said "fuck the draft" on it. Free speech. May not like it, and that's like your public display of profanities. You might as well throw those out the window. Cities still charge people with that crap, and I don't know how in the hell they get away with it, because it's been thrown out years ago by the United States Supreme Court. You have the right to say whatever the hell you want. As long as it's, I'll give you an example. Telling somebody, you ought to have your ass kicked. That's not illegal. I'm going to kick your ass. That's illegal. So, simple assault, if you put them in fear of seriously bodily harm or death. I mean, if the guy attacks you and stomps you into the pavement, well, apparently he wasn't in fear of seriously bodily harm or death. But my point being is this. We have constitutional protections here, and they're in place for, if you hear my cat eating, I swear, could you do that sometime else? Anyway, if we have constitutionally protected speech and we are relying so much, now think about this too, during the coronavirus, everybody is online. Everybody's using Zoom and FaceTime and Skype to go to school and all these other things. Think about this for a second. We've become so dependent on technology, like Facebook and YouTube, and to communicate and to get our message out, that these companies should be deemed essential services. You can't cut my power off just because you do something illegal. You go to jail. And I think that these services should be deemed essential services, and the language in that section 230 should be removed. And it should be changed to unless it's constitutionally protected speech. You can remove it unless it's constitutionally protected. That would stop all these cronies, weirdos, and editing employees that these platforms have that see something that they just simply don't like, and they remove it. Now get that. So, and they probably won't remove mine because I have one subscriber and and really no voice at all at this point. But if I had 1 million subscribers, I can assure you they would be scrutinizing what I'm saying right now. And I don't give a damn. It doesn't matter to me. If they do it to me, it matters to me when they do it to the masses. Well, it really does matter to me, but my point is this. I'm going to say whatever the hell I want to say. I don't care what their opinions are. But Google and YouTube and all of those are very powerful companies. Overnight powerful companies. And every one of them want to censor you. They do. Now, going back to why do they keep taking that video down? It's simple. Like I said, it's control. They do not want that narrative to get out. And let me tell you something else. Now, this is simply my opinion. But the reason I say that Donald Trump dropped the ball is Fauci and the other lady doctor that he's got running this have no business running this. And not to mention, if everything that I read is correct, they're liberal, Democrat. Now, here's the thing. Why do they want to take this information down? Well, they don't want the people not to be panicking. The people are panicking right now. I'm not. I'd shake your hand. I don't give two shits if I catch that virus. I don't. If God sees fit, it's my time to go, then by God, it's my time to go. I don't want to leave a country to your children that's not free. And our civil liberties are being stomped on right now in the name of a pandemic, which it's not. It's more like a flu outbreak. So this was the worst thing that Donald Trump could have ever done. He should have wrote it out. But they found a weakness and a soft spot on him, and they exploited it. What happens when there's another? He's going to shut it down again? We won't have a country, people. We've only been in shutdown 40-something days. We won't have a country. And it's a prime opportunity for them to, jump up and down on their liberal agendas. Look at the oil prices. People are not traveling. If I was still a cop like I was in the 90s, I wouldn't enforce them damn rules. I just wouldn't. You want to go out to a park, go to a park. You want to, people, the police take an oath to protect the Constitution as well. But back to it, I think that it's the left that is trying to tank this economy, to tank his presidency, and they found a way to do it, and it was this virus. That's why they will not allow the narrative and the truth and the data to show that this is really not as bad. And you have hot spots, of course. You have, like, New York is terrible with it. Okay? But here in Mississippi, we're not. I think we had 19 deaths. We had 300 cases of it. We have that every year with the flu as well. And I listen to those doctors and I listen to their data, not their opinions, not their models, not their hypothesis, their data. Not ambiguous data, true fact data that they don't want, that some just do not want. Why don't they want this out? This would be great for the American people. People could go back to work. They wouldn't be in fear of everything. Even my wife wears a mask. I told her, that is the stupidest shit. I'm not wearing a mask. I'm just not. I have a healthy immune system. I have viruses and bacteria and stuff that get in me all the time that my immune system builds and takes care of. And if I get sick, I'll go to the hospital. But I'm not going to change my way of life just because there's a threat. I told her, I said, that would be like me being a police officer and a woman being raped with a guy with a big ass knife, and I have backup that's 20 minutes away, and I'm right there. What am I going to do? It's dangerous. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to stop this, whatever's happening, or I'm going to be dead. Either way. And I have had similar situations like that when I was a cop, and I worked 99% of the time by myself. So the bottom line is this: there's risk, people. There's risk of life, limb, and all that, but I'm not changing my way of life because there is a unforeseen enemy that could take me out. Now, if you're elderly and you are one of those people that could be affected by this, and are really high risk, stay at home. You should. But this is the first time in American history that we've quarantined the damn sick. The healthy. It's the first time we've quarantined the healthy. That's what's so strange to me about this. And those doctors, they bring out a model of a Norwegian model and a Sweden model, and Swedish didn't lock down the country. They just locked down the most vulnerable. Norwegian country, Norway, they locked down everybody. There was no significant difference in the spread of the virus. Get that. And why? And I've said this to my wife even before they said it on their news conference. Because if you go to Sam's or you go to Costco or you go to these places, the damn virus stays on plastic for 3 days. It can stay there for 3 days. You pick up that case of water and you bring it home. If it's got that virus on it, it's spreading, people. Not a damn thing you can do about it. If it gets on surfaces. So it doesn't make any sense. The way they handled this virus makes no damn common sense in a free society. This is not Japan. We are not a communist nation, nor do we want to be. So my point being is this. If we don't get our country back, and if Donald Trump don't understand that there are people inside his administration that want to take his presidency down, and they don't give a damn how they can do it, how they do it, he made a terrible mistake. And like I said, I'm going to vote for him again because I don't think there's any better candidate. But he made a very big mistake when he shut this economy down. Now, do I think he's probably the only one that can bring it back? Yes. He's put so much pressure on China that it wouldn't surprise me if they find out later on that China, well, we already know China did know that the damn thing was transferable to humans way before they told anybody else. I mean, you're talking about people that'll take 1 million Muslims and stick them in concentration camps. I mean, these are not good people, folks. And I'm not talking about the Asian people individually. I'm talking about the government, the Chinese government. They're not good people. And if you're under this illusion that you think that somehow their way, oh, well, they didn't have as many cases. Yeah, horseshit. Everything is disinformation and never what it seems over there. I mean, you had doctors that were, journalists that were arrested because they were trying to get the information out. You had doctors that were threat of imprisonment because they realized it when they realized it was transferable to humans. China hates us. They try to steal our intellectual property rights. They try to do a ton of different things, and this is the only president that's ever held their damn feet to the fire. Ironic. Right here, on election year. But the president probably will never hear this, but you fucked up. I mean, I think you've done a wonderful job on everything else, but this, you goofed up. You should have wrote it out. It wasn't nearly as bad, and it's going to turn out to be one of the biggest blunders in American history. We don't bat an eye that 38,000 people in 2017 died of falling. 40,000 this year died of car accidents. 60,000, up to 60,000 died of the flu. I could go on and on and on. How many people died of, domestic violence? I mean, we don't bat an eye to stuff that's normalized to us. But you stick a virus out there that panics people, and I'm looking around and I'm watching. I don't see these people wearing damn masks during flu season. Even people that don't even get the vaccine, which I don't. I'm not getting vaccinated. If I get the flu, I'll just get the flu. Get something for it, take it, lay in the bed for a week. Whatever. So, and I'm not saying don't take the vaccine. Make your own decision. You have the right to your own personal health care standard according to the United States Supreme Court. So, the point being is this. Folks, stay healthy. Get out there and stay safe. And if you feel like that use your own judgment. Because I've said this a million times. In a society like America, where we the people are the government, and the government answers to us, If an individual cannot make a decision for him or herself regarding their own safety, then who the hell among us can make that decision for everyone else? Who? Think about that for a minute. Well, that's going to conclude my show and my rant for today and my 2 cents. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Maybe you'll be the number 2 as we get this thing started. But again, God bless. Everybody stay safe and take care of your families.